man, what's the tail of the tape? What's the measurements right now? What you weighing in at right now?
I'm like 310.
310. Now you play that like you usually play that like the 290 mark, 295.
Yeah, 290. So I'm up a little bit. Yeah, I'm up, man.
Okay. So would it be safe to say you enjoying that retirement? You enjoying that?
Absolutely. I take care of myself, man, but I'm not like when I played. I'm not like I don't have the discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to be 290 no more. But I want to eventually. So today was my first day actually starting like this no sugar diet.
Okay.
So I'm trying to drop by it's only coffee, ghee butter, and MCT oil for 5 days.
Oh, you on like the bulletproof no sugar?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I want to trim out a little bit though.
So what's your goal with that? Is it just to like try to get rid of inflammation? Is it just to digest? I mean, why'd you pick that?
Yeah, I want to reboot my system. I hadn't did it in a long time. Like when every off season, like I reboot my system, and I ain't did it since I retired. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna try to eat clean, try to get down because the older you get, man, you got to get the weight off these joints. I want to get to like at least like 280. Okay. So that's a goal of mine. It takes a while, but I'm gonna keep chipping away at it.
For sure, man. You'll get it. You'll definitely get it. Now,
what's the lightest you ever been?
The lightest, when I first retired, I went on this crazy diet. I got down to 265.
What was this diet?
It was a caveman diet. I ate meat and vegetables because I wanted to get it off. But then that shit was boring, bro. I was like, man, I gotta have some fun. This one, I'm still trying to be a football player. I was retired, just trying. I'm like, what the fuck am I? Excuse my language.
No, trying shit. He's like, let me do this. Let me see this. Do this. And
I was like, I'm bored. Let me take some trips, man, and go, drink some margaritas and live life. So now I'm freaking 310.
Okay. But again, that's kind of like the balance with all of this, man, because like for so long, for all of us, we've been really disciplined, regimented. Yeah. You can really tell what time. You don't even need to look at a calendar. You can tell what's going on with a player by, how they eating or how they getting ready to go. But what I was saying, so since you start, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, a lot of us have been on one side of the spectrum, kind of like discipline, depriving ourselves. Now, for a lot of us, especially I've seen for a lot of guys after they stop playing, they just want to have that time where it's just like, I don't care. As a coach used to say, I want to throw that ball over that fence. You know what I'm saying? So, right. Because for so long, we've been trying not to indulge in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then for me, I felt like you said, I was just deprived of a lot of stuff, a lot of fun, a lot of time. And then I had to realize, like, look at all this time I got. Like, I got to enjoy this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just started doing my thing. It's fun, man. Everything is balanced in moderation at the same time. I don't want to blow up like 400 pounds, but at the end of the day, I ain't getting ready for training camp either.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as I don't have a dad bod,
you won't be able to move and be flexible like me over here. You know what I mean?
There you go, Sean.
Doing splits. So, what's the heaviest you ever been?
Probably right here. Like I got I got up to 320 probably about 3 months ago. Okay. That's probably I've ever been. Right. My body won't go over like 320.
All right. Now
it won't go.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have because some of us, it don't matter. Some of us ain't got no roadblock. It's just going to go to 500. You go to 500, big man. You won't go to, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Now for you, because you was a skill guy. You played some receiver, you played some tight end, and then that's how you got recruited into college, correct? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you had to make the transition. So you were always a more athletic dude. You wasn't just just the guy running around here just big as whole. Now you were bigger than the average. When did you know you were bigger than the average kid growing up? Was everybody in your town big? Like, did you come from a big family, a lot of size?
Well, I didn't know I was actually. I'm like the smaller of my brothers. Like I got brothers way bigger than I am. Mm-hmm. So I never know. Like I grew up in a big house, so all of us big, man. My mom was a big one. My dad, he's 6'6", he big. So
your dad tall as hell.
Yeah. So I just grew up around like all big people, so I never look at myself as like being big, mm-hmm. till people start telling me that. And I still don't see myself as big now. I still see myself as a basketball player. You know what I'm saying?
Still got the hooper in you a little bit. So did you find it, because that's one of the things we've been like finding with this whole little series is like for a lot of guys, they can't get too much faster. or for a lot of guys, you ain't gonna get, you know, if you 6'1.5", you're gonna be 6'1.5". That's all you can do. But one thing you can always do is get bigger. And a lot of times that's something that a lot of guys can do, but we always know that just because you're bigger don't mean you're stronger.
Right.
Was that kind of like a way for you when you made the association from like going from like big skill guy to a D lineman? How did that whole transition happen? Was there a coach that told you that? Or was you just like, let me try my hand on the other side?
So it was kind of like, so I came there as a receiver. I tore my ACL.
Mm-hmm.
I put on 30 pounds. So they moved me to tight end.
Okay.
So we threw a 5-wide system where they didn't really go to the tight end. So my third year, that's when the defensive coordinator asked the offensive coordinator to let me come over. And one practice, it was like, I think it was like the 8th game of the season was almost over. And they put me over there, and they just said, run, find the ball. That's what I did. So in the next year, I only played a year and 3 games of defensive end. So I was just running around, and hell, I got drafted. So I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just running. I was athletic. I was big and fast. So I was out there making plays.
That's what Bill Parcells wanted, man. He wanted somebody athletic that could go find the ball. He felt like he could teach you the technique.
Exactly.
Got you there, which was true. I mean, when you watch your career, the way you play the game, you know what I mean? You played aggressive, no holds barred, you know what I mean? Made a Pro Bowl, what, twice, right?
Yeah, once in 2014. But at the beginning of my career, when I first got in the league, I was so raw, man. I didn't know like how I wasn't that aggressive my whole career because I was just trying to figure like out like what is this? Like, so many blocks was coming at me. I didn't know what the hell. You gotta imagine coming from a small college where not that, you know, good of coaching, and then going to the NFL where they, you know, the terminology is way up. They telling you these different blocks. I didn't know
nothing. Casey got you right though. Casey got you right though. Casey sat you down and slowed the game down to you to where, and once the game slowed down, shit, that's when you became the beast.
Absolutely. That's when I came in my own. Yeah, but it was a process though. You know, you got to trust the process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For sure. And I mean, always, playing D-line, especially deep in the trenches, it's like, you know, you're in a phone book getting hit from every angle, you know, it's tough. But also, you know, what a tough deal is being a taller guy and a bigger guy and not just, you know, that can be a disadvantage for you. But, you know, that's one of the things, I'm sure that's why Parcell them cats got you, is because, like, you were so raw, like, you know, I can mold this big body, this big ball of clay and something really lethal.
Man.
And that's the benefit of you being athletic, but then getting to be more on the lineman bigger side because you was always big, the lineman bigger size, and then having the right guy kind of coach you up. So played around, bumped around. So you were super active. So and that's the thing about a guy like you, the up the field defense, running around like you probably didn't know what you was getting into, how active you had to be because the D tackles are the ones that makes the engine go, but you gotta both be big, but like you said, you gotta be sideline to sideline. So is that where your old basketball stuff came in, all that?
Yeah. And that's when I actually made the Pro Bowl. Like I didn't really like the 3-4 because, like I say, I learned to play football just getting the field making plays. So when I got in the 3-4, you know, you in the froggy stands going sideways, keeping the lineman off the linebacker, and I was like, "This what football is." I said, "It is boring." You know. So in 2014, that's when Coach Marinelli came in.
The man
with the number 2, 3 takes, get off the ball, disrupt.
Tag is your best friend.
Yes, sir. You know what it is. You know what it is. So that's when I made the Pro Bowl, man. So if I felt like if I would have had that my whole career, because that's what I knew. Like if I would have came to Marinelli, like as soon as I got in the league, I wouldn't have struggled as much.
Right.
You know, early career. You know what I'm saying?
And people forget, like, you know, because a lot of times they see these guys who just play in that type of system that get the John Randalls, the Boogers, the Snaps, all them dudes. But then with also, you're not just like going upfield, you're cutting angles, and people don't realize like there's so much, ain't no round corners out there. And so think about being a 300-pound, 6'5" dude and making sharp corners, meaning changing direction. I mean, that's crazy, but physically, when you think about it, it's like, man, your body shouldn't do that. Like, your knee should have blew out a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And it's wild because you realize, man, and not to use this in a bad term, but I'm just like a physical freak. I'm a specimen. We all are, because it's like, you shouldn't be turning these right angles and chasing down a running back like that from the back.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and you definitely feel it as you get older. You look at yourself on film. Now the way I feel, I was like, I don't know how I was doing it, man.
Right.
I don't know.
But it's probably similar when you go back and look at some of your offensive stuff. You was like, man, I'm a big old. You're like, man, how was I out there killing dudes like that? But,
I know, man. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe, like, I would do it all over again, but looking at it, I was like, I can't believe I did my body like that. You know, I can't believe I banged like that. Just on that, being out of it, going on 4 years, it's like, damn, that was kind of fucked up what I did to my body. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I will do it all over again, though. I will.
For sure, because I mean, that's the game, and the game is, that's that sick thing in all of us. We all talk that shit, but we all wouldn't, trade it for the world because it's a phenomenal deal. So, what'd you say, Box?
No, I said that was just the nature of the beast of the game, the mentality, all that. I mean, you don't trade it for nothing.
Hell yeah. Damn, so let's talk about that college life, because, we played D1 and we always talk about like the culture of food and like an SEC school or whatever, because they ain't gonna pay you, but they're gonna overwhelm you with food. But, at a school like y'all, I know a lot of folks that went to HBCUs, and again, even if you're on the higher end of the spectrum of HBCUs, it ain't the same. So what was the food, what was the training table like down there at Grambling? What was it like, going through the whole deal there? Was they taking care of y'all? Was it, the Southern food? Because you from Louisiana too, so was it close to home for you?
Man, we had soul food. We had Italian food. We had food-wise, it was great, man. Okay. They took care of it. What we had to work with, they took care of us, man. Yeah. And the thing about Grambling, it was more like, it's more community. Everybody, like, if you go to that school, like, from the cafeteria workers, the janitors, to the teachers, it's like family, bro. Yeah. That's the ritual at Grambling, man. It always has been, it always will be. So as far as that point, man, I have nothing to do. I would do it all over again. I would pick Grambling over Florida State, LSU. I would do it all over again, man. I wouldn't change it at all. I love Grambling, man. They did a lot for me to get where I'm at today, man. Definitely.
Yeah, everybody I talked to, especially from that had a chance to go to an HBCU, are definitely, HBCUs are special because, just how much the community supports you, not just the community, but all the teachers, everybody. You can't, everybody, that reverence they have, man, is really, really big. So
another thing, I think, coming from nothing against a big school, I think y'all have to grow up quicker, but y'all grow up quicker without the love.
Yeah,
we had to grow up as men, but we had love, and y'all just go out there and do your job. It's kind of like the NFL. You go through the picture, you get your job done, and they send you on your way. But we had support off the field. We had people that actually cared about it. It wasn't like no line of players.
The relationships seem deeper.
Absolutely.
Yeah, more genuine. Like, it's more transactional at South Carolina because, we got to beat Georgia next year. And
exactly. It was more business all the time, business. But
every time, there was no love.
I could definitely see that. So once you got into that NFL locker room from, I know your mindset was probably like, man, I'll eat anybody. I don't care. I come from a small school, whatever. But when you looked around that locker room, especially the Dallas Cowboys locker room, like, man, what did those bodies look like? Was it just like, man, that dude over there is bigger than what I thought? Like,
not at all, man. I think I had like a chip on my shoulder because I know, like, from the combine, it kind of like it made me like a sense of, it put a sense of like anger in me, not anger, but like just a competitive edge, just the way I was looked at, because I came from Grambling, I wasn't treated the same. They came from LSU, and it kind of like put a chip on my shoulder. So when I came in there, I was like, I'm beating everybody out. Like, I didn't give a shit about it. I didn't want to be nobody's friend. I want to come here and prove, like, I'm from Grambling, I'm here, and I'm supposed to be here. So it wasn't like I wasn't in awe. I wasn't looking at Tony Romo. I wasn't none of that shit. I can't win a job, bro.
Yeah, you can't though. I mean, and that's the thing, because the more of you kind of, it's like, being on a freeway, man, you look around, take a minute to look around, you're going to get ran over. You got to just keep moving traffic.
And I wasn't going to get as many opportunities as the next man. You know what I'm saying? I know where I came from. I don't get I don't sell jerseys because I came from Grambling. I'm not a big household name. Nobody know about me. They just found out about me when they drafted me.
Yeah.
They was like, yeah, damn, he came from Grambling. I didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
So I knew that. So I use that as fuel. And I outworked everybody every day.
So I keep hearing you say this word competition. And that's the thing I think that drives all of us is like, competition. And And that's one of the things we've been finding out when we talk to dudes is like, you know, without having like, you know, the locker room competition or, you know, whatever, or something to look forward to, a lot of guys will just let it slip because, you know, they thinking in their mind, man, I've lost 20 pounds before. I've ballooned in the off season before and lost the weight, so ain't nothing. But without having, you know, it's been 10 years since you've done that. That's the other side of the flip coin. You know what I'm saying? So how do you try to instill a lot of that competition to, you know, to keep your body physically going? Because even still at this age, you know, with the injuries, you still probably in the upper 5% of the world in athletics. I mean, you still can do things that people be like, oh, you know, so how do you try to keep that competition going so you just don't get bored? So you don't be like, man, I don't want to do none of this stuff, man.
You know, it's just me. First of all, I just love, good thing about me, I love to work out. I always have, you know, I was a gym rat from the day I touched the weight. So it's kind of easy for me to just stay in shape, bro. Like, and also like if I go like 2 or 3 days without working out, like my mood be all effed up. So I just have to I'm just blessed with like loving the weight room. So that's no problem for me to like stay in some type of shape.
So how'd you find that love for like working out? Like, was it all like a bunch of your brothers? Were they working out guys, or was it kind of probably like how it was in my town? Like, wasn't nothing else to do, so all you could do was either be out in the street or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was more so like a getaway, like sports and working out. It was a getaway from what I had going on in my life.
Yeah,
you know, I didn't grow up the best. You know what I'm saying? But the weight room and football, it kind of like took me away. So as many times I can get even in college, like people would go home for the summer, I would stay there and I would continue to work out. Even in the league, like people would go home, like I give myself 2 weeks, I'm right back in the weight room.
Yeah.
So it kind of like put me in a good space, you know what I'm saying, from where I came from, you know what I'm saying?
Because you always want to feel like you want to have the one up on somebody for one. Being in the competitive nature is like, why everybody else sleeping, I'm grinding. I mean, it's no different from waking up every morning to work out. Like, yo, you pride yourself being one of the first dudes in the weight room to even though you're getting your shit in and getting it over with. I pride myself in that shit, no matter what. I feel like I always gonna have that edge on everybody. Just just playing the politic game too, just understanding that when they see you in the building, I mean, he may take his job serious, not knowing I might just been coming from the club. You know what I mean? Or what's so big, you know what I mean? But I'm humble or whatever. They don't understand that, you know what I mean? But I understand you having that chip on your shoulder. That's what drives you all the time.
Yeah.
Like I was telling Link about your functional movement class. I'm like, yo, that is competing with yourself. Not with nobody else. When you're competing with yourself to push yourself in your body to do some of that. I was like, damn. I was shocked I could do some of that. Like I was like, yo, I don't even Link. You know, I hate lunges, bro. I hate it all day. They had me in there doing all type, and it wasn't even hot. He had the AC on. And I was like, man, I'm drenched in sweat. It's different.
Yeah. So that's a great segue because so now you own Functional Movement Pilates Studio. Don't let me minimize it, man, because I want to make sure we tell everybody about it.
Yeah, get it right, Hatch. Free promo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so me and my wife, we own a Pilates called Pilates Mixology. So Pilates is our base. And we have another mix of class. We have yoga. We got like a trampoline class. We got my functional movement class, which Sean took. And we got dance class. We just do a whole lot of different things out of it. But, yeah, Pilates is our base, man. So if you're ever in town, man, you got to look me up, man. And,
absolutely.
Come on. I'll show you. You ain't never did nothing like this. Nobody.
I'm scared because I see y'all got the torture chamber machines, y'all got the reformer machines and everything, man. So I mean, but those little micro movements, man. I always tell people like, you know, that Pilates, the dance, the yoga, like, you know, when I was a JIT, you know, I was a big kid, but you know, my mom didn't have me playing, so she had me up in all that stuff, dance, ballet. But that helped me later on. You know, I hated it because I was the only dude in there, but you know, the first thing they had us do when we was in Cincinnati is go to Pilates ballet class, you know what I'm saying? Because all those micro movements. Was that something you got into? Was your wife into that? Because y'all built a whole protocol and built like a franchise off of this now, right?
Yeah, exactly. So my wife kind of got into it first, and she started taking it. She introduced me to it, and I started doing Pilates. And I started noticing like how it helped my body tremendously. So in 2000, when I first got in the league, I met this dude, which class I'm teaching now, at a golf tournament in 2008. And I was swinging you know, a golf club. He was like, yeah, you tight here and here and here. He lived here in Dallas. He was like, you know, here goes my card, come by my class. So I walked in there, I saw these sticks and I saw these 8-pound weights, and I was like, man, I throw the house up in the weight room. Like, this is gonna be nothing. Man, I left out of there just like Sean, soaking wet. Man, it was bad. So, and I kept going, man. From now on, my injury went down. Like I can bend more going around the corner on pass rush. I used to have bad growing, like growing injuries, like left and right. That went away. Everything just went away. And like overall, like my point of attack off the ball, like my get off, everything just got better. So here it is today. I'm teaching the class because it's something that I wholeheartedly believe in. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome, man. And again, little movements, but who would have thought somebody from Louisiana is really out there, you know, on reformer machines, and when you used to getting it really out the mud, you know, cinder blocks and all.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's funny to kind of change your thinking about that, because, you know, as you go older, you know, a lot of us putting weights out on the outside, hand cleaning, curls. But as you get older, you got to function more within the frame of, you know, use the knees, because it all, you know, that groin gonna pull, or you gonna reach over here for that. Oh,
right.
And that's the thing. But those aren't the sexy things. Like, you know, being on a weight loss challenge, like, you know, a lot of dudes we talk to, they're on the challenge, or they on some type of, you know, with their buddies or whatever. But a lot of these dudes got big, outlandish goals. Like, I want to lose 60 pounds, 70 pounds. But that goes back into our thinking, because all of the goals we ever had as football dudes are really big and outlandish too. Like going from wide receiver to DN to being the man, and y'all winning the national championship, you're seeing, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you think about it, all your whole life has been outlandish goals. So how do you kind of like retrain your thinking now to be like, man, let me just be happy with being good on my 8-pound weights, being consistent with my planks? Like, how do you change that mindset for you personally?
It was kind of like, I ain't gonna lie, it was like I had to go through rehabilitation to get the game out of me. You know what I'm saying? It takes a while. And I tell people, like, I just now really, like, last year really got over it. Like, how, like, I had to be the best at this, I had to be the strongest at this. I'm like, nah, I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? I got to be okay with not being this gladiator. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I got to be okay with that. So once I got that kind of thinking, the way they had us train over and over these years, like, I started just thinking for myself and reprogramming myself the way I want to live my life, and not how someone else trained me to, if it makes sense.
No, that makes complete sense, because it's like decompression from war, right? Like,
there you go. Exactly.
You know, same thing when you think about teachers in the school, or, I mean, anything. Everybody need that time to decompress and to download. Right. You know, it's like a computer. Like, you can only upload so much stuff on here until it just ain't going to take no more and just act froggy. You got to clean up the desktop. So was there something, was like the type of workouts you were doing, was those some of the things that helped you retrain? Was it like Bible study? Because that's the other thing we found with a lot of this for guys now working out, ain't really the PRs and doing all the maxes and all that stuff, or, you know, trying to run crazy. More of the working out now for guys, like you said, is the mental stuff. Like, if I don't get my workout in the morning, like, I'm gonna just be man.
Exactly.
It's true.
The whole day.
Yeah. It definitely helps your mood, man. I'm not gonna lie, it helps my mood, and that's one of the reasons why I do it. I don't want to, like, mess my wife and the kids' day up. I'll be moody like a motherfucker, man. Just, you know, if I don't and I have to work out every morning. Like, if I don't, it does something to me.
So you're a morning guy. You know, some dudes can, like, wait, like, and I'm like, nah, man, let's get this out the way right now so we can sweat, feel better.
I gotta have a routine. I'm still, from that football standpoint, like, I gotta have a routine.
Yeah.
And that's when anybody, I don't want to, you know, for the most part, when I retired, I just try to sit around and do nothing, man.
Yeah.
That just almost drove me crazy.
Man, that shit is boring when you just sit around, you sit there and be like, and then let's take it a step further. I mean, like, you know, you hear guys talk about the mental health and the depression, because that's what's wrong with some of these cats too. Like, I'm a witness of it myself. Like, when I got done playing, like, shit, what's next? What's next? You try different shit, then got depressed, and then my bad eating habits came. My bad eating habits started to come, and I started eating bad and want to eat late. Just started eating, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's I went through the same thing, bro. I'm not gonna like when I first retired too. I went through the same thing, bro. I went through. I want to say at least let me see, about 2 years of like deep depression. You know, just didn't know what I wanted to do in life. Like where, like it just came to a point like I was just at a freaking, you know, like I've been doing this for over 20 years and now it's gone. So I'm like, who am I? What do I do from here? So I had to go through that, which I thank God for. I think anybody that need to, you know, find themselves again needs to go through depression. Depression means deep rest. Your body just needs to rest. So I rested for 2 years, came out of it, focused on me, nobody telling me what to do. And I kind of like reinvented myself, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So I thank God for that process because I'm where I'm at today.
You got to see who you really are. I mean, like even my wife would say to this day, like, yeah, I'm not the greatest, but I'm better than what I was before. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's another thing. Like I tell people this all the time. You can't, like a lot of these cats I mentor, like NFL players, I tell them all the time, people are going to tell you, don't let football be your identity. There's nothing you can do about it. The game is too big. It's going to take over your life. No matter what you do to try to fight it, you're going to have to reinvent yourself after the game because it's too big, bro. It's just going to be your identity to the time you're done playing.
It's your identity till you die, bro, because at the end of the day, if I go out here and get in trouble, I'll make ESPN that former NFL player, Sean Smith. No matter what, we are always associated with the NFL, no matter what we do. I don't care. I ain't played since 2013 was my last year. Still, if I do something, we are involved with the NFL, bro.
Yep.
No matter what.
Absolutely. Always be known as that. Let's talk about that eating, man. So what was Jason Hatchett sneaking and eating growing up? Or was you a type of cat that was you a sneak and eat type dude? If you had a bunch of brothers in the house, you probably couldn't. Was you in there fighting to get the last food?
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Food was slim where I grew up in poverty, bro. It was like 12 of us in the house, man. We was on food stamps. You know, food didn't stretch, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of times I went to bed like with no meals, you know what I'm saying? So I used to love when school started, you know what I'm saying? I hated the summertime, you know, so that's a lot of reason why I give back. I work a lot out of food pantries and stuff like that, give my time to that because I understand like I can relate to that, you know what I'm saying? A kid, you know, can't wait till the summer over because he's struggling.
You hate the weekend when school in because you're like, damn, that's Saturday and Sunday, I don't get no meal.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? I feel it. That's why I donate and support kids' hunger and all that stuff because I see the excitement how kids be to even get them when they go to them pantries and pick up their food. Even if it's just apple, they happy with fruit and everything. They, you know, in the hood, they don't care what it is. As long as they got something, they happy.
Yeah. Right, because, you know, it go back to that old adage. If you're really hungry, you're going to eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you don't hear nobody out there starving in no famine country being like, man, I don't eat no meat. You be like, man, give me that goat, give me that whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but that goes back to, like, that's kind of like the gift and the curse of living in such an affluent place. But then, like, you know, you growing up in Louisiana, New Orleans right there, all you know is food. But then you live over here, you like, man, shit, it's real scarce over here. You know what I'm saying? We don't pull something out the woods or get some crab trap or something. Man, we back on this rice and egg. Maybe if my brother ate all the eggs. You know what I'm saying? So when did you realize that football could feed you?
That's a good question.
Because when you in high school, you start to see, man, if I'm good, you know, coach let me come to the little side room and get a Gatorade or I play of the week, man. Them boys gonna give me that free chicken sandwich over there. Maybe if you ain't even the player of the week, you just step up in the spot and them boy be like, oh, that's big boy, man. Throw two more. You know what I'm saying?
I would think like my senior year of high school when people, because I was a star player when I got more than when I started seeing the benefit of it. Mm-hmm. But when I found out it was gonna feed me for real like this, it was like like I say, how I made the transition from receiver to tight end. It was my junior year, and I forgot the offensive tackle name. He's from Washington State, and I was just running around. Like I say, running around. He went like I think top 20 overall left tackle, and I had a day against him. Yeah, and
Talking about
like,
Michael Roos?
huh?
Is it Michael Roos?
I think it is. That do sound familiar. I think that might have been his name. Left tackle. He went like top 20.
Tennessee. I think he went to Tennessee.
Yeah, he was coach. I had a good day against him, and the coach was like, this is one of the best defensive ends I ever saw. I was like, what? For real? I didn't even know how, that I was good at the time. Yeah. And after that, so scouts started coming in. I was like, oh, I think this is about to happen. Yeah. And it happened, bro.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because you start to see man, when you start playing better, you start winning. Me and Sean always talk, man, a lot of dudes first time anything in school, first time flying, first time ever having lobster, if you playing and you winning, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you start to realize okay, man, the more I ball, man, I could eat scallops every night. You know what I'm saying? But for a lot of the guys, after they start playing, they still reaching for food for comfort. Like Sean was saying, when you're depressed, because nobody's going to look at you crazy if you eat a cheeseburger, right? But they'll look at you crazy if you drink a fifth, or, you got a pill habit, or, man, he's a womanizer, whatever. So that's how a lot of guys silently kind of kill themselves. How do you make sure you don't, because I think you kind of got your stuff in check. How do you kind of make sure you don't go too crazy with using food to feel better? You just enjoy it. Are you a meal prep dude? How you doing that?
I enjoy it, but I never. I'm always a self-check guy. I'm gonna make sure why I'm doing this. If I'm drinking, I'm gonna make sure I'm drinking for the right reason, not because I'm mentally messed up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always self-check. I'm always going to evaluate. I evaluate myself every day, my mood, what I'm doing. I stay aware. Just being self-aware, make sure I'm not doing a lot of this, make sure everything's just a balance and doing everything in moderation. I hold myself to the highest accountability, man.
That's what I was about everybody. To say. I was just about to say you're accountable because you challenge yourself just like when you was like, shit, I ain't gonna drink a couple of times. I ain't gonna drink for a month or whatever. You know what I mean? Just little different phases of everything.
Right, absolutely.
What's the show? I forget the joint. Was the dude was man, he just put himself in a bad situation just to see if he can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? But
exactly.
We always, that's what life is. But we've been tested, and we always want to constantly test ourselves and compete and do all that stuff. But like I said, when you still the top dog in your own household, and your wife is like, man, go ahead, eat some more cookies, man. Go ahead, drink that. It's all good. Give yourself. And then before you know it, you're 350. But that's kind of the constant deal. But one thing I like hearing from you, and I keep hearing you say it over and over again, is the self-awareness. And I think as football dudes, we all have known that ability or have been given that gift, because good, bad, or indifferent, you got to watch your tape in front of everybody, right? Most people in the world won't subject themselves to be praised or criticized, whatever they do, teaching, whatever, in their front group of their peers. But for us, that ain't nothing for us. You could have the worst game in the world, but Monday morning you're gonna have to sit down in front of everybody and be like, oh shit, here go that y'all run again. But we kind of forget that as we get older and forget, what I'm saying, the ability to be self-aware and to check yourself. And I like how you said, man, every morning I try to check my mood, I try to check this, check that. Because that is a gift, but a lot of people just kind of get up and work on autopilot every day. Again, is that all just football training for you?
I think it's a lot of stuff. I think for me, like I say, when I went through depression, when I came out of it, it's a lot of things that I learned, not to let happen no more. First of all, I had to learn to not hold on to long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To process it and let it go. Kind of like when we played in the league, right? How you got to process. They say forget fast, but in my life, I never forgot. So, and that was my worst enemy. So every day I make sure I kind of set a script for my life, the way I want to live it, the way I want to hold myself accountable. And I wake up in the morning and I live by that same script. I check myself, make sure I'm feeling okay, make sure I'm going in the right direction and stuff like that. And it works, man. It keeps me accountable so I won't slip back into nothing bad. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. That's the other thing with when you hear a lot of, especially whether it's spending money crazy or gaining a whole bunch of weight, is the accountability. You looking for somebody else to come in there and either hold you accountable, or you trying to give your responsibility away. And that's where you see a lot of guys, in my experience, I think, get in trouble, because I mean, you're a grown adult. You might have been a first round pick. You've done all this stuff, but now you don't want to be accountable for your diet, or you don't want to be accountable for how you spending money, or you don't want to be accountable for your relationships. But at the end of the day, everybody got to own their.
You got that right. You got that right.
And that's a tough deal. That's a tough deal because, you know, a lot of us are like, man, I've done enough in my life. I should be able to, and nobody's saying that you shouldn't have a 2-year span where you enjoy your retirement or whatever. But, you know, it can't be the rest of your life you living like Thursday, like it's Friday night after weigh-in, you know, because we all know how that was. You know what I'm saying? You make a fight all week to go to weigh-in, you make your weight, and then from probably Friday night till Tuesday, it's just calorie binge because you eating out with the guys, you eating out with your wife on Saturday, you traveling and eating chicken on the plane, and you like, damn, I weighed in at 280 on Friday, but I'm about 310 now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it starts like all over again, Tuesday to Thursday.
And it's crazy you say that, like, it made a lot of sense to me. Like, a lot of guys after the game, they struggle with, like I say, just that's owning their own. They kind of need someone. I hear a lot of guys like, I need someone to tell me what to do. No, bro, this is the time for you to tell yourself what to do. And a lot of guys struggle with that. They need someone to tell them what to do. Like, and it's just tough on them. And that's what I had to learn. Like, I was looking around like somebody to come and save me and put me in this job that I like, but life don't work like that. And I had to
come and save you.
Yeah.
Nobody coming to save you, bro.
Nobody coming to save you, but they think they will, and they look around. 4 years, they still in the same place they was in when they left the game. Yeah. So to just end up putting your big boy pants on, man, and say, hey, man, it's life. I got to move on. But a lot of guys still, you'll be surprised. I would say on a high, 65% of guys still stuck in the same place when they left the game.
100%. 100%, because on one end, they're alpha males and they're leaders or whatever, but then they still have been told or have been scheduled, and it's hard for them to break out. It's like the military or certain dudes. But original thought, you still got to go out there and do. You got to know. You know what I'm saying? You
got alpha in that environment, but when you're in an environment by yourself, where's the alpha male then?
Correct.
You'll be a bitch in that environment when you by yourself. Mm-hmm. Be in the game and out of the game too. You say you tackle them. You a hard-nosed D-tackle, whatever, you doing your thing. You're a gladiator, but you get over here and act like a you know, life come at you hard. You do the same thing you did every day. You know what I'm saying? And do better.
And a lot of us goes back to we're system guys. Like, I know, like we were saying, like, man, it's August. I know I got to be doing this, or you know, even so. When you have that blank canvas in front of you, which is retirement, or you 30 years old, and you like, man, what's left? That's what it puts me in the mind when you hear like Puffy say, man, you scared to go into that darkness.
You want to walk around these roaches. These is roaches. These is mere mortals. I'm trying to push you to supreme being. You don't want to You don't want to embrace your destiny. You want to get by. You don't want to go into the dark where it's lonely. You can't handle the pain of the not knowing when it's going to stop.
The not knowing. You don't know what's out. Everything's out there, but you don't know what's out there. And you don't want to jump. And you know what I'm saying?
You got to relearn it, bro. I had to relearn how it's crazy, bro. Like, I didn't know how to pay bills. Yeah. I didn't know nothing, bro. I didn't know nothing at all.
How many kids you got?
I got 5 kids.
Basketball team.
Yeah, been married, been together 22 years, been married 16. Ooh. She was 16, I was 17. We first started dating, been together ever since. Had our first kid when I was 17, she was 16. He 20 now, he played for Tulane.
Man, that's what's up.
Man. Yeah, man. Got a good woman, man. Got it. You got one, you gotta hold on to it, man. Ain't many out here to choose from.
100%. How is it around trying to, because I'm sure your kids are gift with the gift of, size and all that. How do you try to reconcile with them about, eating and, how you grew up not having so much food, but now y'all probably got a whole pantry full of stuff and another pantry. Like, how do you try to like handle all that now, especially if you got little girls in the house too?
Yeah, you know what? I kind of like right now, I kind of let them make their own decision. You know, my kid, I tell them, look, you eat this, you're gonna be fat as hell. You eat this, you're gonna be good. It's up to you. Don't come to me telling me you're overweight when you do this. So I start them early, like making their own decisions, eating the way they eat. But when I'm gonna give you the best advice, but if you don't follow it, don't look at me. So I kind of raise my kids, not different, but different than I was raised. So they make their own decision from a little kid all the way up, you know. So yeah, so I really don't be over their head talking about eat salads. But if you're gonna eat a hamburger every day, you're gonna gain weight.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Be accountable.
How was it with your first one? Because you said you got a 20-year-old now, so I'm sure you know your discipline and parenting was way different with the first one compared to what it is then. Was it like just then you was probably feeding them, let them drink soda and let them do everything? I mean, how was that?
Yeah, the first kid, he grew up like I grew up because I was still in the mindset. You know, I was still.
He was drinking Avocare and all that, man.
Yeah, he everything. We was on food stamp then, man. We had a little apartment on housing. Yeah. You know, food stamp, we had to make it stretch. But yeah, he grew up kind of like he was still kind of like in the struggle. And then my first kid and my second kid, they grew up kind of in the struggle, but the rest of them, they don't know what the struggle even feel like, bro.
Yeah. It's wild. Yeah. I got a brother, we about 10 years apart, and, you know, it's just night and day different from, you know, I remember a little bit of the rough times, but I can forget, and he'd be like, man, nah, what powdered milk, you know, that cheese, that block of cheese, you know what I'm saying? He'd never let me forget, but for me, it's kind of a memory, but for him, it's full on experience for him. And so I always tell people, like, food is always going to be a reminder constantly for everybody about how you grew up, you know, how much food. Because, again, you know, if we have food in the house, even if we didn't have no money, you know it's going to be at least a good couple of days, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's sometimes
like, I feel so scarred for, like, not having a lot. Like, I have to make myself, it's hard for me to throw food away.
I'm throwing this away. We ain't even got no milk. You better put some water on that damn shit. All right, I eat it.
If it makes sense. I put it in the microwave, I'd be like, and I'm still that minute, like I ain't have it, so why I'm not throwing food away. I'm gonna cherish, I'm gonna warm it up later and eat it. You know what I'm saying? Correct. Which the regular person just throw it in the trash.
It's good. Don't waste no food, man. You gonna eat that because I don't want you saying, "Oh, you hungry later on? Nigga, you should have ate all your food. Yeah, food later. You want a snack? You want a snack? No snack. No snack. Right here, you know how hard I heard? I tell my kids, like, they be mad at me. Oh, I ain't stopping at Chick-fil-A today. You know what I mean? That for one, that add up. Use food at home, make you something to eat.
Exactly.
And again, those are good problems to have on this side, but you know what I'm saying? Because we all in a position we can do those things, and you also don't want to make it where, it ain't always New Year's Eve. It ain't always Thanksgiving Day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sometimes, we got to get by with cold cuts or just, in the pandemic in different times, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By with less, and also realizing, man, we got it really good, even if we do got to eat leftovers. We eat leftover pot roast or whatever before we just reheating this rice and butter. That's all, you know what I'm saying? There's a big difference, man. Damn, now this is great, dog. So let's do a little speed round there. What's your let's see. If are you a sweets guy? Are you a fried foods guy? Are you like a heavy like barbecue meat type of dude, man? What type of guy are you, man?
I'm more of I would have to say probably fried food. That's I gotta stay away from that. I can eat fried food like fried chicken, man. Yeah. Every day. I'm more fried chicken meat dude. I love meat and I love fried food.
Okay. How you avoid that now? Are you beating up the air fryer now? You got into that wave yet? Are you a griller?
Yeah. I do a lot of grilling, man. I got a little man cave out here. I be out here just grilling it. I grill a lot of my meat just for the most part. So like I said, I do everything in moderation. I make sure I cook a lot. When I cook a lot, I grill a lot, and then I put it in the refrigerator so I won't make a bad decision. But the day I know like Wednesday or the weekend, I know I'm gonna go in like all day.
So Wednesday is a cheat day for you?
Yeah, Wednesday or the weekend. It depends on like if I have like if I know I'm going out to like some kind of event or something. So I just translate it up or transfer it over to that Saturday or whatever.
Okay. So is it a cheat day or is it a cheat meal for you?
No, it's a cheat day. I'm gonna eat whatever I want to do. I'm gonna drink whatever I want to drink, and I'm gonna enjoy the day because
he go all in it. He's going all in. No holds barred.
I like it. I like it. Because some dudes is like, man, it's a cheat meal because I'm gonna go hard and ain't gonna be nothing left for the rest of the day. But for some dudes, man, it's just, and it goes back to again, man, do you want to, kill yourself on the details? And because we all gonna run out of willpower. But if I got something to look forward to, like you say, man, it's Wednesday. I know I can make it to Saturday, man. You know what I'm saying? And again, building up that muscle because we can only say no so many times before you be like,
right,
wings.
And I
come.
Those super disciplined dude, but that's not me, bro. Like I can't like not do it. Like I tried it. That seemed like super boring to me, and it feel like football all over again. Like I'm not gonna take away my entire life to freaking eat well and freaking go out there and get hit by a car. You
sound like my other teammate, man. I used to have a teammate. He used to be like, man, you doing all this and you gonna die in a car accident.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they eat lettuce and no sugar. Like I'll do it to reset my body and live good, but for the most part, man, like I rather die with fried food on my stomach. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. All right, who got the best fried wings then? Who got the best wings in the city?
Fried chicken.
Yeah, the best fried wings. DG, Dallas Gentleman Club.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, our strip club got the best wings, man. You know what I'm saying?
if you really on it, you know that. You would know.
Man,
that.
they got pepper. They whip the ball though, man. You got to get you about 30 of them.
Okay, that's another good question. Are you a flats guy or are you a drums guy?
I gotta have the flats, but at DGs they so small. I can do the drums. If I go somewhere big, I'm a flats guy. I can't do the drums when you get a certain size.
Blue cheese or ranch?
Blue cheese.
Blue cheese all day.
Cheese,
okay.
With mixed with the buffalo sauce.
With the hot sauce, right?
Yeah.
There we go. So you like the wings? If they fry, you like them fried hard?
Oh yeah, extra crispy. I don't like that mushy junk, man. Extra crispy all day.
I like it, man. It's wild because I was a drums dude, and then I messed around, got like the wrong order of flats one time. And I, not fat dude ain't gonna waste nothing. I'm like, all right, man. I'm eating.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of get it now. I kind of get it. The flats is it. They bumping.
Way to go, man. Way to go.
When you going, if I'm in Grambling, where's one place I gotta stop to get something to eat at out there in that city, in the college town?
Go to a place called Tasties. Fried chicken. Right on the corner of Grambling Avenue. It's a real whole ball. It ain't your upscale. It's gonna be, lady back. I don't know if it's still up. It's called Tasties, where the season be inside, under the crust, and on top of the crust. And it's a late night joint too. Man, best fried chicken I ever had. I ever had.
That's the nuance I like to hear. The chicken, the meat is seasoned, then the batter is seasoned, man. That's how.
Yeah, and then they put the season on top of it. They sprinkle it. You ever been to Henderson Chicken?
Mm-mm.
If you ever go to a place called Henderson, it's kind of like Tasties.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you're a fried foods dude. I like that. Cheat day, cheat meal. Are you a soda guy?
No, I don't never drink sodas. Ever.
Drink no soda? So you ain't never had a problem drinking the calories at all? Nah.
I drink a lot of water, man. I drink like close to like a gallon and a half, 2 gallons a day.
So what's your best water? What's your best water you like to drink? Fiji, Voss.
I buy me a jug of water like from the store, like from a convenience store, like $1 something, and I just fill it up until my wife tell me it's gonna start messing with me. Like after a while,
to get you on the plastics, no BPA.
Yeah, the plastic, then I throw it away, go get me another. I keep it for about a week. And she say that stuff gonna hurt your stomach, so I go get another one.
See, that's the old trainer still coming into you. You're like, man, I can get me a gallon of water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I keep it around me, man. That's what I drink so much water a day, bro.
That's good. Because again, that's another thing. I mean, just to keep everything flush going. But again, just to keep that thing well machined and hydrated, that goes a long way. Away game. Now let's do this one. DC. If you in DC, because you spent a little bit of time out with the Redskins, where's the spot you got to go eat in DC? You dipping down to Virginia somewhere to go to a nice little spot?
I go to DC. I'm gonna say, well, if you in Virginia, Ashburn, where I live at, that's where the practice facility is. You go to a place called DC Prime. It's in Ashburn. But if you in DC, I would go to a late night spot called Means. It's a like Japanese spot. It's late night. Yes, sir. You know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of this place before. Yeah.
That spot.
You a mambo sauce dude? Did you ever get into any of that up there?
What? You gotta have the mumbo sauce on the fried wings, bro. Dude.
Okay.
That shit ever.
I seen somebody on Instagram. Somebody bottling up their own mambo sauce and selling it. I mean, I don't know if it's official or not. It might just be kind of fugazi.
They have it down here in Dallas. I can't find it nowhere. It's all.
I'll send you the link, man, because I seen somebody advertising it the other day. They was advertising their mambo sauce, man, and that thing always busted. And that's also the cool thing about football too, is like, man, being in the locker room with so many other like dudes who like to eat, big dudes, you get to see like, man, from the West Coast, what y'all boys bumping on? And then somebody from over here be like, man, well, we got these crab cake sandwiches from where I'm from, man. And so, it's like a fat boys conference in there, man. Y'all all in there huddled up. And don't let you go close to your hometown, man, because dude's gonna order up, man, I got food on the plane, man, on the way back this week. Something like that.
I got another spot for you too. You ever been to I think it's in Garland, Pangea's?
I ain't been there.
It's Pangea, Pangea spot. Try that. I think it's out there off of, it's Garland right off of
it's off of George Bush. It's off George Bush. I had that lobster mac and cheese. It's a good restaurant.
See, writing it down. Pangea's.
It's a black dude on it, dude named Chef K.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Chef K.
Good dope spot. Yeah, it's right by you.
Like that.
You a cigar smoker?
What'd you say?
You smoke cigars?
We ain't got nothing else to put in it, but what I'm saying, I get it though, because I know some real like dudes who get super heavy into the high end. They pairing it with their scotches and stuff. So I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just got into it probably about a year ago. I like it a lot, man. I like the high end cigars. I don't like the. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like when you were talking about grilling, man, because like I found a lot of dudes, ways they can lose weight is to cook for themselves, but big dudes don't want to be in the kitchen. They want to be outside grilling. But like the act of grilling, getting the right grill, getting your utensils, preparing your meat, a lot of times that kind of helps you break up not just eating all day, because you you delaying yourself because you're not eating, but you're preparing your meats and all that stuff. And then you grilling it, all of that. And then once after you stayed over the grill for 2 or 3 hours, I mean, you've been picking, but you ain't going to gorge yourself. Unlike, you know what I'm saying, if you went to like Buffalo Wild Wings.
Big sample now. You big sample. You got to taste. You got to
I'm a sample. Yeah.
That's hitting right there.
I'm gonna be full by the time
I give you a piece of something. Tell somebody, I'm sampling. Shit.
Hell yeah.
But that's one way I found a lot of guys have been kind of like trying to, because if we want to, we can eat all day. If we don't want to, we can kind of hold off. But like if somebody be like, man, I'm gonna grill some stuff a little bit later. I know it's gonna take me an hour to heat the grill up. Okay, it's gonna take me another. Let me season it. So again, it's all about delaying that gratification.
It's about that process though. It's all how you process that shit out. Like when I say I'm gonna grill, all right, I know I take the meat out the freezer early in the morning.
Yeah.
Give you something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be halfway healthy because you controlling what's going into it. So that's again, it goes back to that responsibility, that control.
Meat and marinate that. Let it sit in the fridge for a little bit. About 5:36, then I get on the grill. Shit, it ain't that hot to me outside.
Yep.
Man, I love the grill. I can grill every day, bro. I like people. I like to cook for people. We have a lot of get-togethers over here, man. I'm always on the grill.
That helps.
Got to get done over here.
That helps too, man. Well, that's the other thing too, man. Everything.
Huh? I say y'all got to come through and holler at me at the man cave one day, man.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. We'll get it right, man. Let me ask you a couple more questions. 2 more questions. What's one thing Jason Hatcher is eating now in his lifetime that he didn't think he'd grow up eating and enjoying as an adult?
What
some of our buddies have said crazy stuff.
Sushi. I would say sushi, raw sushi.
Okay.
And oysters and stuff like that. When I first grew up, I would never, like, when I first came in the league, I would never eat that. But now, like, I love it. Like, I can eat raw, salmon, yellowtail. Like, it's like I got a acquired taste for it now. So that's one thing I would like. Growing up in where I'm from, nah, we don't eat no raw fish, dog.
Yeah. Nah, we're gonna fry that thing hard with some mustard. Yeah, a lot of dudes have been saying that, and that's where I think like you just figure out, like, dudes be like, man, I never thought about going out and just eating sushi, man, because I'll be wanting to dip. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna spend $100, I want a steak. I don't want raw food or whatever. What's one thing, if there was no health implication, you wouldn't get fat, you wouldn't get upset, tired, whatever. What's one thing Jason Hatcher would eat if there was no repercussions every day, if you could eat it and get away with it?
I would move to New York and eat pizza every day. Dude,
New York style pizza.
Like New York pizza.
Okay.
You can't wear around here. It's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I can eat New York style pizza every single day. Every day.
It's the combination of hot cheese,
all that
crunch of the crust.
It stands the dirty water up there, bro. Make the crust good.
So you're a New York over Chicago style pizza. Chicago style
it's too thick, man. It's too thick. I like the thin crust, man. You know the pizza by the slice. Every time I go to New York,
roll it up. You know.
Oh, you gotta fold that thing. You know what it is.
Yeah. I like it, man. I like it.